Hello, you are watching Western Reserve News. I'm your host, Bruce Rogers, and we invite you to sit back and watch the highlights of meetings that we are doing this week. This is the week of December 14th, 2015. On Monday, Western Reserve News was at the Perry Township meeting. Also on Monday, Western Reserve News was at the Sebring Village Council meeting. On Tuesday, Western Reserve News was at the Latonia Board of Education meeting. Also on Tuesday, Western Reserve News was at the Poland Village Council meeting. On Wednesday, Western Reserve News was at the Canfield City Council meeting. On Thursday, Western Reserve News was at the Fairfield Township Trustee meeting. Fairfield trustees go into executive session to iron out differences in opinion over pay.
To Sean and Richard, we would bump them up 75 cents.
Come 12/20 to 14, we bumped her up to 20.
Right. Because John is at 22, which is at the high end of this pay scale, and then
Right.
Richard's at 20.
And we didn't
Sean's
do
at
anything, we haven't done anything with his for some time.
Correct.
Right.
That was one of the reasons I did this.
So what we're going to do is go to, for Sean, are you increasing that, or we?
Well, I would think we would bump Richard and Sean, give them both 75 cents an hour.
I don't know. We had a 9.7% healthcare increase this year, too, is the other issue that we absorbed, is my thought process.
Well, I think we need to go into a short executive session then to discuss wages.
Someone want to make that a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Bob?
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Regular meeting will reopen at 8 o'clock p.m. after short executive session. Okay, it's Resolution 2015-131. No, 132, I'm sorry. And it's going to authorize pay increases, 75 cents across the board for all three, Mel, Rick, and Sean, and John is maxed out, so that's why that's not included. The two fellows on the road crew, they would get their increase January the 3rd, and Mel would get his increase on January the 1st of 2016. Is there a second?
Second.
Bob?
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
Barry?
No.
Because this time next year, with what's going on with the Affordable Care Act and everything, we're going to need to take a hard look at all this stuff.
Well, and that's exactly the reason for my no vote, because, we took a 9.7% increase in our health care, and we don't have the trustees or the employees pay 10% or 15% towards their premium, as other entities do throughout the county. We don't do that.
On Wednesday, Western Reserve News was at the Canfield City Council meeting. Canfield councilmen wish Mr. Rogers a fond farewell and applause.
First off, I'd like to say thank you, Steve Rogers, for his years of service to the community, volunteer firefighter, auxiliary police officer, member of city council, and other boards and commissions, and sort of just all around pretty good guy. Community member, to take a coined phrase, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Been a pleasure, fellow. Thank you, sir. And to everyone else, Merry Christmas.
After you.
To echo Chuck's thoughts, Steve Rogers and I paths first crossed 10.5 years ago when I was an auxiliary policeman, and he counseled me on how to do that. And then he watched me for 8.5 years and pointed his finger at me three times actually, said, "You're going to be the mayor. It's your turn." And I thank you for that, Steve. I'm having more fun than you should be allowed to have. I've been a real friend. It's been fun working with you. It's been a trip. I would like to present you with a key to the city.
Great.
This key will open any door in the city except mine.
Thank you so much. I also echo also what both Mr. Tisch and the mayor have said, and as a fellow Rotarian, hopefully we can see you more now at the Rotary functions and meetings. I'm not sure about that. But I haven't had the pleasure of knowing Steve for that many years as much as these people have. But the time that I have known Steve, he's been great, and he's also helped me very, very much into this position that I'm holding today. And I'm sure there was a lot of questions that you probably got sick of me asking. Not at all. But other than that, I wish you all the best, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you again, all you.
Let me,
Go ahead.
may I? Yeah, I wanted to thank you too, Steve.
I know.
The first time I showed up in the city, the first mayor's court anyway, you were the bailiff there, and you showed me how to conduct mayor's court. And I want to thank you for that, and really it's been a pleasure serving with you all this time. And if there's one word I would describe your service, it was great professionalism.
Thank you
throughout. It really was, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to have a few words to say. I just think about this every day. I lived in the community now for almost 45 years, I believe. With the school here, with the YSU, I graduated, and I came back to Canfield because I love the city of Canfield. I've always loved it too. I served in this community specifically 34 years. And 34 years I gave back to my community. And I wish we could find more people who can do that. But I did it because I truly love this community. And what helps this council work are the 8 individuals right along this wall here that I commend each and every one of them for what they do for the city. It makes our job look good. Because these team of professionals over here are the pros. We just do what they tell us to do, more or less. But they are outstanding people to work with, and they've made this city the way it is today. And of course, people that you took the jobs from. I mean, the Blightstones and Magnusons, all those people who've had the years that made this community the way they are. You just build up more and more, and that means a lot to me too, also. So I'm very proud today to leave you the seat. You and to Joe. Joe, I wish you all the luck And I'm here for you. Call me anytime. I know you have your group here working with me, but I'm here for you. Give me a call anytime. I really appreciate it. But thanks for the memories. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Steve. And with that, this meeting's adjourned.
At the Canfield City Council meeting, term limits are taking their toll.
I received a letter from Scott Fowler, who serves on design review, and he is going to be leaving that committee. And he is not leaving because he wants to, he's leaving because of term limits. And he has served since Mike McLaughlin's days, which takes him back a long way. He loved doing what he did. He loved serving the city. And he is really struggling to understand why people who want to serve can't. Rather than take the time to read this into the record, I have about 20 copies of this letter right here. Please take one. Please. If you care about the city, everyone sitting in this room, take one of these, read it, digest it, and go into the street and talk about it. You too, Frank. That's all I have. Thank you.
And here's the Canfield City Manager report.
Okay, 2 items of correspondence, and the first being the property of 37 Hood Drive. And Mr. Huxley did send a letter in last week, along with a check for $187.39. That amount covers just the cost of the penalties on the issue that's being challenged. And along with the letter, asked that his water be turned on, just paying the penalties. That's the only correspondence I've gotten from him since our last council meeting. I still don't have any good explanation as to where the water went. It did pass through the meter. At the last meeting, I recall him making the request to have the meter retested somewhere, and we would transport it to wherever he had designated. Well, he's never brought forth any information. So the water at this point is shut off. It's terminated. And with the 187, I had not planned on restoring the service. But it's up to you gentlemen if you have any comment or where you want to go with this.
I would think we would need to have him come forward and be that first person to take move. I mean, I don't think the $187 is going to get that turned back on either. I mean, I think we got to wait for him. I don't know if he's still in town or if he's out of town again, but that's my opinion. We would have to kind of wait for him to go forth to test that meter. That's the only other way, because we know we feel from our end that the water went through there. So
that's kind of where I'm at. I don't have any reason to offer any reduction on the water or sewer in that particular instance, since there's no explanation as to its usage. The only other correspondence, there are two more. I did receive an email from the Board of Health with reference to 33 Kirk Street, and it was received this morning. The email reads that yesterday JVM Real Estate contacted the Board of Health and advised them that they were going to be starting on replacing the roof and replacing the siding on the structure within the next 30 days, weather permitting. That's the home that we've issued a number of letters to the real estate company, and we personally have not gotten any correspondence back. This is the first thing I've seen from anybody, and it's a JVM Real Estate LLC is the contractor. I assume is working for the owner. And again, this is the property we were looking at heading towards demolitions.
Does that address any of the concerns that the fire chief had in his letter?
Nothing inside the building, just the roof and the siding, which are some of the Board of Health's concerns. They also had concerns with some of the interior of the property.
I guess I would be concerned about having them proceed with any cosmetic type things on the exterior if they're not going to get to the essence of the issue.
Well, one of the citations was the tarping the roof, covering the roof.
And that was part of ours as well, because it's been tarped. It's not. It's a property maintenance issue.
The tarp is torn and blowing off, according to this.
There's no tarp on the roof now.
Oh yeah. Well, unless it blew off, there was a tarp.
They've got some plastic nailed to the roof in different sections, but as opposed to having like a blue tarp or a...
There was a blue tarp on it the last, yeah, if you want.
There were 5 issues that were raised by the fire district. One was the rear shed was leaning and it was a collapse hazard. The second was mold inside the structure. The third was peeling paint on walls and ceiling. The fourth was a dead animal in the front room. And the fifth was the tarp covering the roof was torn and blowing off.
Given the letter that they sent, that they're saying that they're going to do these particular things to the roof within the 30 days, if they don't do that?
I'd like, frankly, to take the next step. The chief has done what he needs to do in terms of noticing them. They have a period of time subsequent to his last notice to make repairs. If they don't, then we'll issue a letter indicating the home's going to be demolished. Should they fix it up in the meantime, we'll back off. Okay. But I don't want to stop that clock.
Right. That's what I was talking.
Should we initiate a conversation with them prior to them doing any work to see what they're...
Sure. Yeah.
Because
good idea.
The concerns range go further than, as Mr. Fish had mentioned, the cosmetics of it. There's issues inside the home that they can certainly cover it up, but it's not going to address the concerns that the neighbors had about all the bugs and everything that are, and the odors coming out of the house.
On Tuesday, Western Reserve News was at the Latonia Board of Education meeting. At the Latonia Board of Education meeting, a fond farewell.
I want to recognize a caring and compassionate public servant, Tony Manzetti. Tony is finishing her second stint on the Latonia Board of Education, and I've been fortunate to be superintendent during each one of those terms. Her background in education, compassion for students, and commitment to the Latonia community has made her a valuable asset to the school district as well as a treasured friend. And I want to thank you for calling, coming to serve us when you were called, and how much we appreciate it. And I think Lisa has something for you from the board.
It's been my total pleasure, believe me. Thank you. I'm going to take it out for you. Thank you, Tony. Very much.
So thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. Tony?
I want to thank all of the gentlemen here and Jen for the pleasure of being so respectfully submitted here and helping with the last 4 months. I really appreciated that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also on Tuesday, Western Reserve News was at the Poland Village Council meeting. At the Poland Village Council meeting, a fond farewell.
Members of my council, I'd like to start and thank Mr. Cassette for his years of service on the council. It's been a pleasure working with you, and best of luck to you. I'll pay you later. And a nice hockey fan, the booty, so that's good. Yeah. So I'll let you lead off with your remarks.
It's been a pleasure. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody. And to quote Arnold, I'll be back.
Mr. Donovan?
Before his seat gets cold, does anybody want to move up to this? No, Mark, it was good having you.
Thanks.
Keep your golf clubs closed.
You know what, you could go over there and then there'll be 3 women.
Yeah, we should put the women.
I like the baby. Two beautiful women.
That could get ugly. We could be really nasty.
Keep them separated.
Yeah. It's really good.
Well, that hasn't been in a long time.
Mr. Major?
I'm glad to see Mark back. I wish him good health. Thanks. And I wish everybody a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Mrs. Cerny?
Mark, thank you for your service over the years to this community, and everybody have a great holiday and a safe holiday.
Mr. Lumber?
Wish you well in everything you do, and good health to you.
Thanks. I'm going to miss your accent when you say Mark.
Mark. Oh, yeah, talk that, Mark.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll miss you, Mark. Enjoyed all these years. And everyone, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Motion to adjourn.
There you go.
Last motion. Second for anyone?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
7:54, meeting adjourned.
On Monday, Western Reserve News was at the Perry Township meeting. Also on Monday, Western Reserve News was at the Sebring Village Council meeting. As promised at Monday's Sebring Village Council meeting, City Manager Richard Giroux on Tuesday appointed firefighter Brian Anderson as Sebring Fire Chief. He will be on probation in that position for 1 year, after which a review will be made for permanent appointment. At the Sebring Village Council meeting, the mayor expresses hope to rid the city of blighted buildings.
If any of you know, I have 3 parcels right now on a list that I'm aware of that need to come down. 120 West Texas. There's the 200 block of East Vermont. As a matter of fact, myself and the director of the land bank broke into that structure the other day, and it is deplorable. It's not salvageable at all. It's a shame. It's a nice little bungalow. It's around 226, I believe. And the third one would be, if at all possible, a house up on Tennessee Avenue.
616?
Yes.
That one's really deplorable.
The money that we're hoping becomes available, we believe will not be as restrictive as the last project we were involved in, and we may be able to talk about some commercial properties. And there's a couple in downtown area that I think are need to come down.
Will Sebring keep AT&T for phone service, or will they switch to Time Warner?
Time Warner has completed all the site survey work back, and the process of drafting our phone and internet proposals. As you may remember, Council asked me to look into an alternative source of an AT&T for our services due to the high cost. We did also contact AT&T representative to find out why their service was at such an excessive cost. And based on the renewal proposal, it shows a substantially less figure. What I have a funny feeling is we've been trying to get a hold of it. We left a message with the representative today, but we were unsuccessful in contacting him. But Judy and I have a teleconference with AT&T tomorrow. Their renewal proposal shows us at $250 for the service per month versus the $250 per line that we were being charged. Okay. So it's my belief that they have overcharged us, and if that's the case, I'm going to try to negotiate a reimbursement for that overage as far back as we can get that. So I will keep the council advised as soon as we find out what the results of that conversation are. So just want to keep you in the loop. We're working on that. Time Warner is already in the wings with their proposal in the event that the AT&T thing does not pan out. So one way or the other, we'll get it fixed.
Sebring Village's new website coming soon.
I'm hopeful that the new Sebring website will be activated next week. I've had several conversations with Carl Witt this morning. The website, the homepage is almost finished, and the links are being worked on right now. Department heads are pulling in information and pictures, and I'll break down what needs to be put into those links. And I'm hopeful that prior to Christmas, we'll be able to throw the switch on at least a basic framework and then flush it out in January.
No. Is the website really going to be up and running in a week?
I'm trying to be, it's...
I like your optimism.
Let's put it this way. I've gone through, this is the 4th company. It's like pulling teeth, but these guys seem to know what they're doing. It's actually being constructed. I've actually seen the preliminary design. And the answer to your question is absolutely. It has to happen.
I just don't want to change all the form letters for the bond issue and then change it back in a week,
No, what we're going to do is when the site is complete, I want it to be user-friendly so that Malia and other staff members can access the site to update various things. I mean, the council has its new minutes or ordinances that are being passed or information that we need to get to the public. I want us to be able to make those updates right from the office computer, where you don't have to reconstruct everything. So I guess it's a very I know Dave will give me a hard time, but short and really long, version of the long story on it is, that yes, it's going to be user-friendly and it's going to happen. It has to happen. It's way overdue, and these guys are putting a lot of pressure on them to get it done.
First, at the Perry Township meeting, let's listen to Cliff Mix give the new business report.
Under new business, we received the road, police, and the fire and zoning department reports. And Salem Utilities Commission is requesting authorization to have installed a water meter bulb in the right-of-way of Collerton Street for Michael and Jessica Dorney. He needs our good graces to go ahead and do that. That the Dorneys are building up on the end of Dayton Street, and they need to get their sewage pumped into the city and their water from the city because of the rocks and stuff that they can't get through to put a septic system in. So the city is going to grant them the right to hook into the utilities.
Do we need a motion for that?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Mack?
Yes. Also, the Salem Utilities Commission is requesting permission to install a cleanout basin in the middle of Ohio Boulevard for a sewer line that they're running into that area.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Trustee Mack?
Yes. Resolution 1532, provide health, life, and dental insurance for full-time employees, trustees, and fiscal officer for the year of 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Mack?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Resolution 1533, to reappoint Jim Newman to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 5-year term.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Mack?
Yes. Resolution 1534, temporary appropriations for 2016 in the amount of $25,750.
No,
No.
257,500.
Or $257,500.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Trustee Mack?
Yes. Resolution 1535, approve the payment of reasonable expenses for trustees and fiscal officers for the attendance of the Winter Conference in Columbus, Ohio, January 27.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Mack?
Yes.
Okay.
And the final meeting for 2015, checks will be signed the week of December 28th. Reorganizational meeting Monday, January the 4th, 2016 at 6:30 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
And now, here's Perry Township's old business.
Under old business, we have the rejection of all bids for the storage building.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Mack?
Yes.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
And Resolution 1536, to again advertise for bids on the building at the South Station. We will be advertising for the building January 4th, 11th, and 18th, with bids to be opened on the 25th of January of 16.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Mack?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Rudolph?
Yes.